is everywhere. We talk about it, chase it, and dream about it, and yet so many people are quietly afraid of it. Not afraid of being alone, not afraid of loneliness, but afraid of love itself. If you've ever felt your chest tighten when things start to get serious, or felt the urge to pull away just when someone gets close, you're not broken. There's a reason for it. Loving someone means letting yourself be seen, fully, without hiding the parts of you that feel uncertain, emotional, or unfinished. Love asks for vulnerability, and vulnerability feels like risk. When you open your heart, you also open the possibility of rejection, abandonment, and pain. For many people, the mind steps in and says, "This is dangerous." So instead of leaning in, you retreat. Not because you don't want love, but because your nervous system is trying to protect you. For others, the fear of love doesn't begin in the present, it begins in the past. Maybe you loved someone deeply and it ended painfully. Maybe trust was broken. Maybe you gave everything and were left with nothing but questions. Experiences like that leave marks. The mind remembers the pain and assumes the same ending will happen again, so it builds emotional walls, not to avoid connection, but to avoid repeating the wound. Love starts to feel familiar but unsafe. Sometimes the fear of love comes from insecurity, a quiet belief that says, if they really knew me, they wouldn't stay. You may want closeness, but at the same time feel unworthy of it. You might question whether you're enough, whether you're too much, or whether you'll eventually disappoint the person who loves you. But before they can leave, you pull away first. It feels safer to walk away on your own terms than to risk being rejected. Another deep fear hiding beneath love is the fear of abandonment. If someone important left you emotionally or physically in the past, your brain may have learned that people don't stay. As an adult, this fear can show up as constant anxiety in relationships, overthinking messages, or fearing silence. Or it can show up in the opposite way, emotional distance, shutting down, and refusing to depend on anyone. Both are ways of trying to avoid the same pain. For some people, love feels threatening because it seems like a loss of independence. Being close to someone means sharing space, emotions, and decisions. And if you learn to survive on your own, love can feel like giving up control. You might fear losing yourself, your freedom, or your identity, so you keep relationships shallow or avoid them altogether because independence feels safer than emotional surrender. There is also the fear of intimacy. Real intimacy means emotional transparency. It means letting someone see your thoughts, fears, and needs. And if you grew up without consistent love, closeness can feel unfamiliar or even overwhelming. You may crave connection, but feel uncomfortable when it actually happens. So you stay present, but not fully open. Surface level connection feels manageable. Deep emotional closeness feels like too much. This fear of love has a name, philophobia. It's an intense fear of falling in love not because love is bad, but because love once hurt. It's the mind's way of trying to keep you safe. If you don't allow yourself to love, you lower the risk of heartbreak. At least, that's what the brain believes. People with this fear may struggle with intimacy, feel extreme anxiety in relationships, or push people away without fully understanding why. Often this fear can be traced back to early experiences like abandonment, loss, neglect, or betrayal. It's not a flaw, it's a survival response. So if you recognize yourself in any of this, take a moment to be gentle with yourself. Your fear of love doesn't mean you are incapable of it. It means you learn to protect your heart the best way you knew how. And protection, while necessary once, can quietly become isolation. Understanding this fear is the first step toward healing it. Love doesn't require perfection, it requires awareness. And sometimes, bravest thing you can do isn't opening your heart all at once, simply understanding why it's closed in the first place. You are not afraid of love because you are weak. You are afraid of love because you cared deeply, and that matters more than you think. If this helped you, you can like the video or subscribe. Liking the video helps us reach others who might need it, and subscribing lets us continue these conversations.